Friends, family, fans, we're not back with another episode of Back Nine Bets. We're back for drafting season, baby. Underdog Best Ball is rocking and rolling. If you are unaware, Underdog, use code Maniac when signing up over there, has got Best Ball for the PGA out now. So you can draft 150 rosters, and I've got all the tools, I got all the tricks, I got all the information for you for this year. Let's have a banger. We got lots of time to do this. I am going to share a couple thoughts and things before we get into drafting. Just because this is the first stream, figured we'd do a couple high-level things for you newbies. Hey, you, new guy in the back. We got you covered for Underdog Best Ball. So, to start off with, some changes from last year. Before we even do that, Best Ball for you absolute newbies. You do not have to touch your roster once you've drafted your 12 golfers. It is best ball. 6 scores count for every tournament. And as a result, you are looking at trying to draft 6 people that start in every single week of every single tournament. Obviously, not everyone plays every tournament, so you got to overlap people. That's the first thing. You do not have to touch your roster once you're done drafting. The best scores get sucked in for the 6. If you have 10 people playing that tournament, the 6 best scores are taken every tournament. If you have 5 people playing, you only got 5 scores to take. So you're taking L's, you're taking zeros. You do not want that, ideally. The tool helps with that a lot. So we'll figure that out later. That's the first deal. We went from 10 people that you had to draft to 12 people. So basically you can now, because the PGA Tour has signature events and non-signature events, we've got different golfers playing basically 2 different schedules this year. The top 50 in FedEx Cup points for the year for 2025 will be playing in signature events. The 10 guys from the fall FedEx Cup that finished in the top 10 of the fall rankings will be playing in the first 2 signature events as well, along with their normal schedule. If they keep playing well, they can play their way into additional signature events, but they are guaranteed for the first 2. Everybody that's not inside the top 50 will basically be playing the Sony Open, the Amex, the John Deere Classic. You know, none of the signature events will be on those people's schedule. It's a pretty simple situation, but it gets tricky when you're drafting. You know, you want to click the best names, and sometimes clicking the best names isn't going to necessarily fill up your roster the right way. So you don't want 12 signature event people because you're going to have tournaments that none of these guys show up for. That's the second situation. Then I'm going to share some stuff with you guys over here. This is the scoring. I have a little thread for you guys, by the way. Go over to the Model Maniac. PGA Best Ball for Dummies is basically what I'm using for you dummies. So go check it out. It's got all sorts of cool stuff. Share it, please, if you don't mind. Going forward, let's get my face in the picture so it's slightly bigger. We've got different scoring this year. We've got finishing position points. We've taken away the score to par. We've removed that, and now we're going with finishing position points as a way to kind of reward people for playing well. It's trying to balance out the fact that the US Open, everyone was basically over par, so they were like losing points for finishing first, when someone finishing 20th at the John Deere Classic was going to outscore them because they were significantly more under par than the people playing the US Open. Now we get the finishing position points. The winner gets rewarded. Boom, chakalaka. AJ, how do you sign up to play? You go over to Underdog and off you go. It's drafts. It's not in every single state. Apparently, Iowa refuses. It's one of the few that doesn't have it. There's pretty much every single thing you can figure out. So go over to Underdog Fantasy. Use code Maniac when signing up, AJ, and you can get yourself a deposit match there for your first time around. So, beautiful stuff. What's up, Sia? How are you doing, my friend? Go check out Fantasy Football today for the DFS side of things there at Sia Majad and the sports line stuff. But we are back to DFS and Best Ball, for 2026. Finishing positions, that makes it normal for every single tournament. The winner gets bonus points. Sometimes the winner wasn't necessarily getting rewarded as much last year. I understand what they're doing over there. Some of the scoring, we're going to be looking for guys that are literally birdie makers, because you do not get dinged as much for bogeys. You're getting half a point for a par, minus half a point for a bogey. You're getting 3 points for a birdie and 8 additional points, I believe, for an eagle. I don't know if it's the same overlap. We've got some situations here because an albatross apparently is 3 less points than an eagle, when in fact an albatross is also called a double eagle. But the scoring doesn't matter to us, really. We're still looking for birdie makers, guys that score a lot of fantasy points, guys that get a lot of good starts. And ideally, you're looking to dominate the easier events. You know, some of the majors aren't necessarily going to score you as many points as the other fields. So that's something to bear in mind. Moving on to the next thing. Here are a couple guys based off of the scoring that will happen this year using that just screenshot I just showed you. Just using birdies, bogeys, eagles, bogey-free rounds, that kind of thing. No finishing position. These are the best point scorers for last year's tournaments, for the best ball schedule as well. So as you can see here, Sam Stevens, Siwoo Kim, Sam Burns, Ben Griffin, Sungjae Im, all ahead of Scotty Scheffler when it comes to fantasy points scored. So you do not even have to have the number one golfer in the world in order to score the most points over a schedule, because Scotty Scheffler, we will see his schedule here on the tool a little bit. He doesn't play as many tournaments as Ben Griffin. So even though Ben Griffin doesn't gain as many strokes as Scotty Scheffler, who's now gained 4 strokes per round over the last 4 months, 3 for the last basically 8 months, it's absurd. He didn't score the most fantasy points because he didn't play every single time. Sam Stevens had like 85 rounds of golf because he was right in the mix between top 50 status and the other guys. So he kept playing signature events while playing the normie schedule, made a bougie bunch of points. So that's basically what you're looking for this year. Max Griesemann could be one of the guys this year that we're talking about. The white names in this screenshot in the tool are normie events, and the signature events are all in yellow. So most of the guys that scored a lot of points last year are obviously going to be playing signature events this year because they played well. There we go. But if we take a look at some names like Ryan Gerard, played quite poorly. You know, he barely gained any strokes. And off we went with tons of fantasy points, you know, just because of the schedule that he played, the amount of starts that he was in, kind of thing. So that's one more thing to consider. Moving into the next situation. The tournament, the best ball tournament on Underdog is a 4-round tournament. So the first 7 events on the PGA Tour schedule, the Sony Open, the American Express, Farmers Insurance Open, AT&T Pebble Beach, Waste Management Phoenix Open, Genesis Invitational, and the Cognizant Classic, are round 1. Round 2's tournaments, I'm not rattling them off. Don't worry about that. But you get it. 7 tournaments in the first round, 2 tournaments at the Arnold Palmer to the RBC Heritage in round 2. Round 3 is the Miami Championship, new golf course at Doral, and that golf course is hard as balls. So fantasy points are going to be slower over there. That ends with the Memorial, also another difficult golf tournament. Then round 4 begins with the Canadian Open, and it ends with the Open Championship. The final 2 rounds here, round 3 and round 4, only consist of 6 tournaments. The first 2 have 7 tournaments. At the top here, you can see what the average score to par was last year at these different events, because that matters. More under par, more birdies, less bogeys, more fantasy points. That's what you're looking for. When we're taking a look at some leverage positions in the tool, you can find how many of the top 50 golfers are, basically the top 50 FedEx Cup guys. How many of them are playing in this tournament? So, the Sony Open, 22% of those 50 people are projected to be playing in the Sony Open. The Cognizant Classic is going to have only 15% of them. Not a lot of guys play in the COG, especially considering the heavy schedule that they have coming up in rounds 2 and 3. So basically, you got the different situations. The top point scorer of the 6 people in the draft advanced to round 2 out of round 1. So you go there, your points get reset, and you are now dealing with 5 other opponents in your new pod that you have to outscore in fantasy points, starting from 0. The points that you score in round 1 are gone. They are behind you. They got you to the next round. No more mattering of those points. So that's another situation. In the final round, there's like 250 odd people that are all going balls to the wall for $50,000. That is where the money is made. You make your 50K in the final round, and it's versus 250 people. So you need to have unique rosters by the time you get to that final round. But also, basically what I'm trying to do this year is just get through round 1. Just get as many guys through round 1, because there's a lot of stuff that can happen in the first couple tournaments that changes status, that changes qualification for signature events and majors and players championships and stuff like that. So it's fun. There's an art of speculation that is involved in PGA baseball. Moving along, we've got basically you want to make sure that you've got the right amount of starts in your drafting situation. So the tool's got round 1, round 2, round 3 projected starts. That kind of figures the stuff out for you. Moving along into this, here are the names that are going to matter to you guys. Sami Välimäki. These are the guys that are playing in the first 2 signature events that are also not inside the top 50. Excuse me. So Sami Välimäki, he's in. Max Griesemann, Gary Kigo, Rico Hoey, Nico Echeverria, Aldrich Potgieter, Chris Kirk, Aaron Rai, Minwoo Lee, and Max McGreevy are your 10 gravy train options in the first round. That's basically going to give you normal events and signature events to start the year. That's great to see. All right. So, yes, I have the schedule over here. You can put in your schedules as you feel. You can download the tool, change your schedule however you see fit. Maybe you don't agree with what I've projected. Trust me, I've spent hours and hours going through all of this stuff so that we can make sure I got the right schedules for you guys. That's basically the art of this, is making sure that you fill tournaments that are hard to play in, because some people don't like to play in the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson. It's just, unfortunately, the situation, especially since you've got Masters, RBC Heritage, Miami Championship, Truist, PGA Championship, 5 major/signature events in a row. Yes, the Zurich is in between one of those, but basically 5 in a row, and then the Byron Nelson before you get into the Memorial, US Open, Travelers again. So these signature event guys are hard to find in these other normie events because they need to take a break, and a rest, which might involve a breast. We never know. But basically what you're looking for is to relax in between this massive stretch over here. All right, moving on forward. We're taking a look at official world golf ranking. Makes a big difference in this contest. There are guys like Siwoo Kim. I took the screenshot before. He played well in Australia. He's now inside the top 50. But Siwoo Kim was outside the top 50, which means he wasn't locked in for the majors. Basically, if you are top 50 in the world rankings, you get into all 4 majors. Some of them have different cutoff points. The Masters, I believe, is the week before the Masters and at the end of this year. So you've got 2 different top 50 ranking lists. PGA Championship, US Open, similar situations. Basically, the golden rule is being inside the top 50 gets you into the top 4 major situations along with the players. That is good. There are guys that are outside the top 50 in world ranking points that are inside the top 25 in FedEx. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be playing in the majors if you are inside the top 50 in FedEx Cup points. Also, you could be playing in all the majors without playing in all the signature events. We've got a couple guys, Alex Noren, Marco Penge, Christopher Wrighton, all of them aren't inside the top 50 in FedEx, but they are playing in majors. It's been a while since I've done a stream. Chat's drying up, by the way. I need some more comments. What's going on, Retail Ripper, my brother? How are you? Let's go. Drafting season's upon us. Couple more things before we really get into it. All right. Spoken about all of this. Let's get the hell out of here. We are going to be looking at some drafts. I've got some slow drafts for those of you that need to go to different states to draft. Start your slow drafts. Then you can come back to your state and complete them here in Iowa. Luckily, that's what most people do that are from this part of the world. Slow drafts are fun because you can use the tool to figure that stuff out slowly. Also, the faster these drafts, the better. So here is the DAWG Dominator. The link to this is in the description below. You can use this to draft with perfection. One of the guys in the Discord said it's now time to draft with perfection, and I couldn't agree with him more. So shout out to my main man. I think it was Yapo, that said so. So basically what it's doing, this little chart up top here, I'm going to also quickly make a copy. This is how you get your own copy. You go into the tool, in the Patreon, go under the shop tab, click, boom, purchase the DAWG Dominator, get yourself in there. It is now yours once you make a copy of it. If you want to subscribe to all my other tools and products that I provide every single week for every single tournament, if you subscribe annually, you get 2 months free off the top, and then you get the DAWG Dominator free. So that's a decent chunk of savings that you get there if you subscribe annually over at the Model Maniac Patreon to the main tier there for the annual subscription. That includes the DAWG Dominator, or you can just get the DAWG Dominator on its own under the shop tab. The membership tab is where you can get those tiers and the annual subscription. So I'm going to make a copy, and I'm going to go Byron's copy, Byron's 2026 DAWG Dominator, make a copy. Now this is mine. Now I can do whatever I want to this thing without anybody else telling me anything. You can't do anything to this original one anyway because I've locked it. So let's get out of there. Make sure I don't fiddle with that too much. Let's get Ludwig out of here, who, by the way, I'm out on. And before we even get into that, who I'm out on, who I'm in on, here we go. I'm going to pull up the Discord. I can't move the Discord. Why can I not move the Discord? Oh, well, can't show the Discord right now. It's being a little bitch, but all good. So let's take a couple look at some more things here before we get going. So basically, I'm going to get rid of this banner here real quick to show you what's going on underneath. So there we go. Now we can keep the banner. All right. So underneath here, you're going to go right-click, duplicate. Then you go over here, you double-click this bad boy, and you just change it to, I need to just double C. You're going to go over to the Underdog as well on your phone or tablet. I haven't figured out a way how to change the freaking name on the desktop. So situations are tough in the modern world. But if you go onto your tablet or iPad or phone, you can change the name of your draft, and then you're going to change it to a number. You could potentially going to have 150 of these drafts. So I've changed it to number 19. Let's duplicate this, change it to 19, and off we go. What are we dealing with in number 19? Just a Ben Griffin off the top rope. Okay, so Ben Griffin. So to start off the draft, you don't really have to go off the adjusted rankings. It's going to overreact quite quickly to trying to fill in all the schedules that have zeros now after clicking Ben Griffin, right? So that's basically what you're trying to make sure of, is getting this box to as many yellows and greens as possible in here. And it will show you as you're going along. So we've got Ben Griffin, we've clicked his name, and we got him in the 2 hole. So you can go over back to the tool. We change this pick to number 2, and off we go. Additionally, what I want to do is I've gone into Underdog. I've downloaded my CSV of exposure because I have a confession to make. I left Tennessee thinking I signed up for 25 slow drafts. I did not. I signed up for 3 slow drafts, and while I was driving back from Tennessee to Iowa, I was unknowingly auto-drafting people like Colin Morikawa on 22 fast drafts. So I've got 22 drafts out there that were auto-drafted. I'm a broken man at that news. I found this out yesterday. And I'm sad. And I'm depressed about this because that's 22 teams that I have no say in. And likely they're going to be the best teams that I have. Because that's just how it goes. So tough situation there for your boy. But make sure when you are doing the slow drafts in abundance that you are clicking slow draft and not the 22nd guys. So as a result of this, I now have too much exposure of some people. We can go over here. You go over to the exposure thing. You paste in the exposure CSV over here, and then it can show you exactly what's cooking. Where the heck is going on here? Scotty Scheffler, I've got 26% of him in my lineup so far. I've got 0 Xander. I've got 0 Colin. Granted, I just auto-drafted him today by accident. So things can go wrong for you. Lots of Rory. We're not looking for Rory. And then this wonderful situation over here, it's going to help you figure out how many combinations of this situation do we have. So we're going to go Ben Griffin. Back to our normal one, Ben Griffin. And let's figure out somebody else that we're liking. So we got Tommy Fleetwood available. That's good to see, especially all the way back here. I've got him ranked number 9. What is he actually in the thing here? I've got him ranked 12th for my model. But Tommy is a guy. So he can absolutely get it done. And we're getting some ADP value. I've seen him move into late first rounds, early seconds, because he's Tommy Fleetwood. He's probably the second or third best golfer in the world. So we've got a lot of volume with Ben Griffin. Let's go Tommy Fleetwood over here and then see what this thing does for us. Ideally, you want to do this before you clicking Tommy in there. You can see, okay, this is what's going on. I've got Tommy Fleetwood now. For the 14th pick, it's going to suggest some names. Adjusted ranking here is basically taking this original ranking and figuring out, okay, what schedule is going to make the most sense with these two guys that we've drafted so far. We're still looking for Cognizant Classic participants. We have 0 Cognizant Classic starters right now. So I'm going to zoom in a smidgen more here. If you guys can see the screen, please let me know nicely, okay? So Ben Griffin, Tommy Fleetwood are our first 2 starts. At 14, we can probably go to like Sam Burns, Harry Hall, Max Griesemann, Aaron Rai. These are a couple names that I really fancy in the early rounds. So since Harry Hall is our number 1 guy and we likely get a Harry Hall at the COG, let's take a peek and see what happens. We've got Harry Hall. Plug his name in. Boom. So next pick is going to be the 23rd pick. You can see exactly, okay, maybe we get Max Griesemann there, potentially. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. But I've got him. He's one of the only few people that I've got like fractional situations because these drafts are going to go faster, I promise, but I'm explaining a lot of stuff to you guys right now. If you take a look at Max Griesemann's situation, official world golf ranking is 31st. He's outside the top 50 in FedEx Cup points. Last year, he was inside of it. So what I'm thinking is he's playing the normie event schedule and he's in the first couple signature events. If he plays well enough, he's either going to continue to stay in the signature events based off of the Aon Swing 10s and the next 5s and the 6 7s and whatever else you want to call them, sponsored by random people on the PGA Tour. He could potentially continue to get himself into these next couple signature events. He also is 31st in the world. The top 30, this is a little sneaky tidbit for you guys. The top 30 in the world get into signature events. Even if you aren't top 50 in the PGA FedEx Cup from the previous year or any of the next 10 swing 5s, 6 7s, you know what I'm saying? So he is on signature watch, basically, because he's 31st. If he gets off to a couple good starts at the Sony, at the Amex, at the Farmers, he's inside the top 30 leading into the API. And that's the week before is your world ranking. If you're top 30, you're in. So he's got a chance to make himself available in a lot of signature events as well as normie events, just trying to keep up. You know, he could be forced to play a lot of golf. We've got him projected for 21 starts. It may be more, could be less. You never know. You can fiddle with it however you find fit. All right. So there we go. First guy done. Let's click on the next one here. We've got a JJ Spahn. Now, for those of you in the Discord, you already know I'm in on JJ Spahn a lot. So he's one of my top ranked guys in the tool. Let's make a DAWG Dominator duplicate again for number draft 13. Okay. JJ Spahn. Get his name in there. And let's get this. There we go. Get that out of the way and get some extra screen space. And then we're going to see who's available to us. We've got Rory coming all the way back to the 9th hole, which is starting to be a little more where I would like him. I've got him ranked 19th because if you take a look at Rory's schedule over here, it's Pebble and Genesis. Not very good. You picking a guy that was in ADP 4. People were drafting a lot of him early, myself included on the freaking auto drafts. But I want to also change this to yes so that we can change the rankings for guys I don't have as much of because we want to make sure that we don't have too much of somebody. The exposure tab over here tells us how much we have of him. We got 39% Rory. I want less of that. You notice as we change the adjusted rank here, based off exposure, it drops it. So the more you have of somebody, the less it's going to suggest him to you so that you can have a nice, well-balanced situation. If you really want someone, you can force feed him in there going off the original ranks, or you can just toggle this on and off as you're going along. Badass freaking tool. I know. Get back on your seat, people. Those of you that fell off, get back on there. It's okay. There's going to be even more cool stuff you're going to find out here. So, JJ Spawn, next up for us, we're going to go off our exposure rankings here. Sung J M, obviously not available. We're looking at the 9 hole. So, Cameron Young is up there. We got Maverick McNeely, I guess, with 0 exposure. It's really doing a lot of heavy lifting for him. Seb Straka and Sam Burns, Harry Hall, looking like some names we want to get after. So considering we're not going to get all the way back to 21, we got to make our 2 picks here. Do we want to just go off of kind of a Maverick and Cameron Young situation? They are not even available, Cameron Young is. So he's not there. We can get Mav, I guess, or we can also get Mav on the way back. We can go after Mav in round 3 in the 16 spot. I'm looking for, I may just go Sam Burns. Make sure we get him. It's going to be a while. He's right around ADP of 18. So give me some Sam. Simple Sam. And off we go. So we're going to go Sam Burns here. Draft his ass. Go Sam Burns. All right. So what does that do to us? Maverick McNeely doesn't even show up here anymore. He's out of there. But if you want, you can go underneath here and find these guys based off ADP. And by the way, you can see this is new ADP. This is where the guys have been getting drafted lately. I updated that today, and I have official World Golf Rankings updated as well for you guys. So, yes, Maverick McNeely moves to 10. So, after we go Sam Burns, Maverick becomes 10. So, maybe we want to grab Mav now. And then we go Sam Burns. We hope Sam Burns makes it back to us. We'll fiddle with it. Let's see. Okay. Let's go with Mav instead. And then we go. Hopefully Sam makes it back to us. These guys need to be nice. So that one is done. Sam Burns. Let's type in Mav here just so that we can try to force ourselves to remember what we were thinking about when we were doing this one. Next DAWG Dominator. We're going to go to number 8. We have got JJ Spawn, Tommy Fleetwood to start off with. 0 Colin. Not doing any Colin, people. He plays 14 tournaments a year. He's literally isolated to signature events. Like if you take a look at Colin's schedule, 2 times in the first Pebble, Genesis. API Players, Masters, RBC Heritage. He's not playing any of these other events. Yeah, we've got Miami, Truist, PGA, all signatures, all majors. Doesn't play the Byron, doesn't play the Charles Schwab, played the Memorial. Doesn't play Canadian, plays US Open, Travelers, Scottish Open, and the Open Championship. So you aren't getting more than 4 starts from Colin Morikawa in a single round. Everybody else around him provides you with more value on a round-by-round situation than Colin Morikawa. So I've got him ranked 68th in the model. So, yeah. I'm also going to put the exposure on over here so that I can not have to deal with that every single time. Duplicate this. Make it number 8 for us. And off we go. We got JJ Spawn and Tommy Fleetwood. Model is telling us, re-ranked us for 16th. We have available to us Corey Connors, Sam Burns, Aaron Rai, some other names. Max Griesemann down there too. What do we want to do? Corey Connors not necessarily doing the greatest work for us early in the situation, since I have a million of Corey Connorses. I had him before I left Tennessee. I re-ranked some of my favorite guys early, so that was a good mistake I at least made. I put some of my favorite names ranked up so that it auto-drafted at least some of the best names. Siwoo, Corey Connors. I mean, you can see my exposures are quite high on some guys. Siwoo, Corey Connors, a lot of, obviously. Scotty, Davis Thompson. Hate that. We'll chat more about Davis Thompson and why I'm not going after him. But for this draft, we are looking at Harry Hall again, Max Griesemann, Sam Burns, same name, Seb Straka if available. Seems like a nice name to get in there. Played fantastically just a little bit ago. Seb Straka was drafted by Morgs Zv before us. Harry Hall going early in round 3. So that's not available to us either. Okay. Dealing with it, making what we can with new information. So Sam Burns, grading out nicely. Let's go after Sam Burns again, since we might not be getting him in the other draft. Sam Burns. Okay. Sam Burns is in the mix. New draft, number 9. We've got JJ and Sungjae. Alrighty, number 9. Duplicates. I had to drive to Missouri to fire off a bunch of stuff late over the weekend. So we got some slow drafts for you people now to look at. JJ, Sungjae. Love the situation. Sungjae Im. Think about how poorly Sungjae Im played last year. We go over to 2025 stats. There he is. Guy's making 12 eagles in a best ball schedule. He's making 295 birdies, 815 pars, and a lot of bogeys. 200 bogeys. And a lot of doubles as well. Guy was struggling. But look at all these points he scored. Because he played 75 rounds of golf. You know, like if we go over to, like you can easily find Colin Morikawa here somewhere. Yeah, what's this? Rory McIlroy played 50 rounds of golf only. He won the Players, Pebble Beach, and the Masters. And look where Rory is in points here. All the way down here, like 50th. So that's not going to help you. Even though Rory gained a lot of freaking strokes. Gained 99 strokes on the field. Only scored 10 points of fantasy per stroke he gained, basically. So like, that's not going to help you. You know, you need guys that play a lot and play well. So basically just sharing some information you can use. This is all part of the Model Maniac tool. If you want this stuff, you got the last year's stats all available. You can go over here into the power rankings. This is how I've decided, okay, this is the guys I'm going after. If you take a peek at the power rankings here, you obviously want this to be a total of 100. And we looking at round 1 starts. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I want guys to get me through the first round and then deal with whatever comes after that. And then I want to be unique and dominate if I do get to round 4. Whatever happens in round 2 and 3, so be it. You know, that is what it is. We still want some of that in there, but 5% for those. So 15% for round 1, 15% for round 4. 30% of the total model ranking is round 1 and round 4, projected starts. Best ball scoring from last year, how many points did you score? I understand this can be different for schedule. I could probably do it based off of a start. Best ball scoring per round maybe would probably be a better way for me to grade this. But it also helps you see how much golf guys played last year too. Now, schedules and statuses can change, so this can change. It's pretty much, you know what? I don't actually like that. It's not giving us much. So let's figure out a different way to rank these guys, and let's go with, you know what? I really want to get through round 1. So we're going to change that to 20, and now we've got some different rankings going on, and just like that, you've got different stuff. So since I started 25 slow drafts, I'm going to go off the same rankings here for this batch of guys. Then I'm going to re-rank it a bit, fill it around. You can also, like, if you want Rory in the mix, you just add like a full ranking point there, and then all of a sudden he jumps to number 1, you know? So you can get him going for you. Make sure that he shows up for your rankings, how you want guys going. If you don't want some people in the mix, if I've drafted too much Si-Woo Kim, we can get Si-Woo out here. Minus 0.5 gets him into the 15 range. He's never going to fall to ADP 15. You know what I'm saying? So you can go ahead and do whatever you want. Make your guys who you want them to be, how you want to draft, go off of that. It's using the average scores for the different tournaments that these guys played last year. Eric Cole, not playing in any majors, by the way. So Eric Cole, if we go over to his projected schedule, he is one of the guys in the Discord. Let's see if I can move this thing yet. No, I can't. I can't move the Discord, people. Anyway, unfortunately, I can't share that screen with you right now. But he is one of the few names that I said, do not draft this man. If we go off the average drafting position over here, he's an immediate red flag for you in official World Golf ranking points. Eric Cole, last year played a million tournaments. I think he played 23 events because he was inside the top 50 in FedEx Cup ranking. He's 92nd now, not top 50. And he's outside the top 50 in world rankings. So he's not getting any. He's not playing in the Masters. He is not playing the US Open. He's not playing the PGA. And he's not playing in the Open Championship. So for someone that had any tournament available to him last year to play in, he's no longer allowed to even play in the signature events. So he doesn't have those, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tournaments that are just automatically not even eligible for Eric Cole to play in, even if he wanted to. And then an additional 4 majors. So that's 12 tournaments that he can't even play in that he was allowed to play in last year. So he can only play in the non-signature, non-major events, which means Eric Cole is only going to be playing 13 tournaments. If his world ranking remains the same, if he plays poorly enough to not get into any signature events. There's speculation involved here, people. If you want to speculate that Eric Cole is going to play well, play his way into the AT&P and the Genesis Invitational, go ahead. If you think he's going to get into the Masters, you can enter that into the schedule. But I do not think he's playing well enough to do that. It's a problem for me. So Eric Cole, the moment someone's drafting him in your draft, you've already got a leg up on that guy, in my opinion, because he's not nearly worth what I think he should be bought for. As a 92nd ranked guy, he's going 16th. I'm sorry, I can't do it. So that's a freebie for you guys over there. And then while we're off speaking about fades, here's Davis Thompson, same situation. Same amount of events projected as Eric Cole. We are looking at a man that's 91st in OWGR. So DT, no bueno. He's only going to play once if he does play in the why is this situation? Oh, we're missing some, yeah. Okay, that's fun. Let's get AL and JQ. See, this is what you find out on the streams, because he's not only playing once, he's playing twice. Okay, so back to Davis Thompson. And this isn't going to be on the main thing. I need to go back and do that. Mental note. Anyway, DT, we've got the Canadian Open and the John Deere Classic. I don't know if he's going to be eligible to play in the Genesis Scottish Open because half those people come from the DP World Tour. He's outside the top 50. It's a good chance he doesn't make it into the Genesis Scottish Open. So we're only getting like 2 starts, 3 starts from this guy. Is this overlapped into the other one? Yeah, it is. Okay, fantastic. So I got to fix that by the time we're done with this. Anyway, so Davis Thompson, we out on him. Simple situation there. DAWG Dominator for number 9. Let's get back to some nitty-gritties here of the drafting world. We've got JJ Spahn. We've got Sang JM. What is our tool telling us to go to? As always, Sam Burns, Harry Hall. So after each day, download that CSV from Underdog. If you're drafting a lot of Sam Burns, you're drafting a lot of Harry Hall, that exposure is going to come in there, and all of a sudden you're going to have less ranking points telling you to go after Sam Burns. Like if we just go over to Sam Burns here and make it 50%, if we go over to number 9, Sam Burns now is adjusted rank for 43rd. So that's a significant decrease in projections, and it's based off of how much Sam Burns you have. So that's going on there. Back to our exposure. Let's get that out of there. Make it there. Okay. Why is JJ Spahn so high? Well, JJ Spahn's a US Open champion. And if we take a look at projected last year's stats, we just go to the power rankings. Why is JJ Spahn ranked so high? He's now moved down to 7 for me since I've fiddled with some stuff. But I had him as high as 4, as high as 5, and I'm cool with that because I believe in this man. If we go to best ball scoring from last year, the highest scorers, here's JJ Spahn inside the top 12. And he played, whatever. If we take a look at weighted strokes gained, which takes the last 8 for 2 months worth of golf, and I think there's a 12-monther in there as well. JJ Spahn's weighted strokes gained is sitting as a top 10 in this field, and he isn't a Matt Fitzpatrick or a Rory McIlroy or a Tommy Fleetwood. All of these guys over here, you can see there's only 3 or 2 starts for those 2 guys. So you're getting good players, but are they really going to provide you with any utility because there's minimal starts? JJ Spahn is slated for 5 starts. Maybe that doesn't come to fruition. If we take a look at what JJ Spahn's schedule is over here, I've got him playing the Sony. He's always, done his thing out there. Farmers Insurance, TNT Pebble Beach, Waste Management Phoenix Open, and the Genesis Scottish Invitational. So those are kind of situations that I'm looking at. And as a result, I'd expect JJ Spahn to be playing a lot in the first round. And then we're getting him. He's now won a major. This guy could potentially show up in some majors again. I'm a big fan of JJ Spahn. I think he gets disrespected quite a lot, if you do ask me. I mean, he just finished 4th at the Euro World Challenge when I had a top 3 each way on him. So he's breaking hearts, but playing well at the same time. That's the situation there. So JJ Spahn, that's why we are so high on him. Available to us, Colin Morikawa, not in the mood for that. Hideki, Sam Burns, Russell Henley. You see, Russell Henley's also in the same boat. I don't think he plays a lot of golf early on. If we take a look at Russell's schedule here, he does play the Sony, and then he plays the Cognizant. So he's got four rounds of golf early for us if we're in the mood. But what is it suggesting? Harry Hall is our guy. So I think we're going to draft a lot of Harry Hall here. I've got him ranked 15th, and adjusted-wise, he's going to play a lot of golf for us this year. So we go Harry Hall. There he is, and off we go. Harry Hall. Not available. Taken. God damn it. All right. Harry Hall out. So we might have to readjust the Harry Hall's ranking to reflect ADP. If ADP starts jumping higher, the fact that Harry Hall's not available to us at 18 when we got 16, that's a problem. We got to change that because we want more Harry Hall. So we can go to our power rankings over here, figure it out what's going on, find Harry Hall for us. We reduced his power rating so that we could get him at the right place. Now it's not helping us. So we might make him number 4 now. I don't feel like that's the right place. We like him in the second round. So let's make him number 12. It's minus 0.15 off of his power rating. And now we have him 8th. We go minus 0.2, 10th. I like that as a good spot for Harry Hall. Now we get enough of him. Good. To number 9. Harry Hall not available. Max Griesemann available to us. Sam Burns available to us potentially. No. Russell Henley. Now, you know what? We can just go. You can just say, you know what? I haven't got a lot of Russell Henley. It's not going to suggest that too much to me. We've got JJ Spahn and Sungjae Im, who I think are going to be playing a lot of golf. Sungjae is going to be covering a lot of stuff for us. So I like going with Russell Henley when he's not necessarily going to give you the most starts, but he's paired up with Sungjae, so you could get a lot there, if you understand what I'm saying. So you can force the model to readjust if you kind of click a couple names early without using the adjusted rankings. And then we can go Max Griesemann. What's it saying about Hideki? Hideki's playing well. And obviously grades out way better than Russell. And we get a Sony from Hideki. We get the Farmers, WM Open. So, I mean, Hideki's not a terrible option early. We get 555 from Hideki to start off his 3 rounds of the tournament. And then, sadly, only plays 3 times in that final stretch. But a lot of these other names also play, 3 times. So getting a lot more starts in that final couple makes a big difference too. But depends how you get there, if you get there. That only matters when you get there. All right. Decisions. Hideki is there. Let's go with Hideki. I mean, he's playing well. Okay. So Hideki is in the model now. And as a result, it's kicking out Chris Goddard up pretty hard. who also played quite poorly to start played badly at the Euro. Holy cow, he played badly. But you never know what he gets up to with a fresh new year. Andrew Novak showing up there. So we've got some names we can go after, Andrew Novak. We can go after Chris Gotterup. So off we go there. We've got Max Griesemann if he makes it back to us. So that's some names we like. Let's go Hideki Matsuyama, get his ass on our team. All right. Cool. Next draft, number 21. Make a new one here. Duplicate the dog. Make this number 21. What pick do we have? We got a Ben Griffin, JJ Spahn again. Love those. Love getting Ben Griffin. There's not too many Ben Griffin. Basically, Ben Griffin's only available in the second pick, maybe the third pick nowadays. So if you're getting Ben Griffin, I'd take him in number 2 and number 3. Hideki could definitely skip with injuries. Absolutely. But he's giving you enough 5s that a couple of them could turn into a 3. And a lot of those other 5s beforehand could have helped out. Maybe not. He also has a really high volume of golf for someone that's that injury prone. Playing 15 times in the first 3 rounds of golf there. What's that? 24 tournaments, 20, 776. He's only missing 5 events. So Hideki's got some good utility early on. And getting a Ben JJ Spahn, love this situation because this was from pick number 3. That was back when Xander's still going ahead of Ben Griffin. So we'll see how that progresses over the last, the next couple situations. But here is Ben Griffin, JJ Spahn. We've got Colin Corey, Hideki, Sam, Hoagie, Griesemann available to us. Should we just go grab Harry Hall early? Don't tell me he's been... What? Mr. Shampoo. God damn. Wasn't he the guy that... No, the other guy took... Some other dude took him. Flipping heck, eh? So, Harry Hall, gone. Off the board. No good there. Max Griesemann, Sam Burns, Seb Straka. Seb's are missing already. JJ. You know what? We'll just go Sam Burns, yeah. Again. I got a lot of Corey Connors. I can't keep going to him. Although Corey Connors plays a lot of golf. Sam Burns. Let's go. Let's make some birdies, baby. Okay. Sam Burns. And that was the 3rd pick. Okay. Moving along. Number 7. We've got a Xander Tommy Fleetwood. Whoa. Okay. 2 juggernauts for majors. We're going to have to build around them in the other events, especially Tommy Fleetwood only playing twice to start off with. So this was number 7. Let's duplicate that. 7. Xander, Tommy. Did I go pick number 3? Ben Griffin must have gone ahead of him. Yes, he did. Okay. So pick 3. So we've got the 15th pick over here. We want to take a peek at some more names. Zoom in enough here for us. There we go. All right. It is suggesting, obviously, Harry Hall. Does Harry Hall exist to us at number 15 over here? You kidding me? Ben Byers. Grabbed Harry. Gee whiz. Harry Hall not making it to the 3rd round anymore. Tough scenes. All right, let's go with Sepp. We're not getting much Sepp anyway. What does he say? 20th in the model. I'm fine with that. Potentially could play a lot of golf early. He usually plays the Sony, usually plays the Amex, and it is nice to get guys who have the same status as the previous year because ideally you can just play the same schedule that they did last year. Now Sepp has a baby. I don't know if he's going to play as much golf as he did last year, but we're projecting him for 19 events. Gives us a lot of early starts, especially with Tommy Fleetwood not giving us a lot of early starts. Sepp's going to give us some nice overlap in the normie events. We are still looking for someone to take care of the farmers, but don't worry, Xander takes care of the farmers for us, I believe. Okay, So Sepp Straka, he's in. That's our first 3. And then it's telling us at pick 2020, at pick 22, we're going to try and snag Max Griesemann there. So we'll click Greasy Trap. Alrighty. Moving along. Pick number 2, we're going to have a couple more names here. We got a Harry Hall with a Scotty Scheffler and a JJ Spawn. This might be one of my favorite drafts so far. Nice. All right. Number 2. Duplicate. And we've got a Scotty Scheffler, which means we had pick number 1. Scotty, JJ, and Harry. Beautiful stuff. Tool is suggesting Max Griesemann, Chris Gotterup, Michael Kim. By the way, let's see. You know what? I can share my screen. If I do, let me share. No, I can't. Why can't I? I'm just going to actually give me 2 seconds to just exit out of my Discord because there's a lot of good information in there that I would like to share with you guys. All right, here we go. If it crashes my computer, we've done 50 minutes of this stuff. Congratulations. We made it that far. Open. Discord. Come on now. Nope. I'm going to have to restart my entire computer. God damn it. Anyway, why were we trying to open the Discord? Because Michael Kim. We put in there for Michael Kim. I asked him on X, what does your schedule look like for the first couple tournaments? And he said everything minus the COG for the first stretch. So Michael Kim is slated to play 6 tournaments to start off the year. He's going to be in every single major. He's going to be in all the signature events, and he's a mule. The guy is a volume juggernaut. 22 projected events minus the Cognizant there that we took out already. So that includes the Cognizant that he's not going to be playing. So we kind of just duplicated his schedule from last year as well. I'd imagine he plays no more than 6 in a row for the most part. So we've kind of figured that out over here. So Michael Kim, 32nd. So maybe we go to him in the mid-20s there in the 4th round. If we like any names in this situation. I mean, Corey Connors has dropped all the way to 2024, yeah. And he's not playing terrible. I mean, he's totally cool. Like if we go take a look at what Corey Connors can provide us in this thing, he's adjusted to 152. Not good. Okay. But still, if we just plug him in, I mean, that is a massive ADP value. A Scotty Scheffler with JJ Spawn, Harry Hall, Corey Connors. If this makes it to that final 4, the round 4, the championship rounds where you go up against 250 other people. Let me just have a sip of some coffee here. Can't speak properly. When you make it to this stretch, what is Corey Connors going to give us over here? Corey Connors plays 5 times. He's going to be the Canadian. You see, he's a Canadian Open guy, US Open Travelers, and he plays Scottish in the Open. So that's pretty certain he's going to play those 5. So if it makes it to that final round, I love that for Corey. You know, I don't have him graded that high, which I'm kind of wondering why. Why do we not have, what's causing Corey's situation for us? Yeah. Power ranking for Corey Connors. A lot of starts. Like, why are we not getting any love? It's likely because the last 4 rounds of golf, he's lost strokes. So if we change this to 0, he jumps a little bit. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, his weighted strokes gain's not going to help us there. But I mean, if you take a look at his schedule last year, he scored 1,152 points. That's a lot. So let's re-rank Corey Connors here a little bit. We need to get him to ADP, or at least behind it. We've drafted a lot of him, so maybe we take him when he falls. So we're looking to get him to 2.4 in power rating. So we're going to add 0.26 here. And there he is. Now he's 21st. So that's going to be within the first. Let's get him within the first 3 rounds. I mean, he's not going to fall to the 4th round much, but if he does, he's scooping his ass up. So let's go 0.3. That doesn't do it enough. 0.35 gets him to 16. Okay, I like that. 0.33, 19. All right, cool. Early 4th round, I'm cool with that ranking for him. Whatever. ADP is our friend. So we're going to go with Corey. We're going to shove him in. And as you can see, we are still lacking a CJ Cup Byron Nelson. No, that's not going to be the case. John Deere Classic. No starts for the John Deere Classic, but this comes later on in the drafts. You know, obviously all the crappy players are going to be drafted later and they play in the John Deere Classic, obviously. So we'll deal with that, but no superstars playing the John Deere. Maybe if we want, we can kind of take a peek. Okay, who does play John Deere Classic that's a good golfer? Last year, Ben Griffin played the John Deere Classic, which we don't have yet. Sanjay, Si Woo, Eric Cole, Aaron Rai. Eric Cole's not a good golfer. Aaron Rai is going to potentially play. Max Griesemann could be playing the John Deere. Davis Thompson will be playing, but we don't like that. JT Poston, definitely. Rico Hoey is an option to play the John Deere Classic, but he's going to be way down in 33. You know, maybe we go to Rico Hoey early. Michael Kim. Will Michael Kim go back to the John Deere Classic? Did he play the John Deere last year? I don't think he did. Do we have him slated to play the John Deere? We do. He did play the John Deere. He missed the cuts. Okay, so Michael Kim, let's go. Michael Kim, another superstar for us, a stud, playing in all the majors, playing in all the signatures, and a volume guy. So we've got some volume options paired up with Scotty Scheffler. I like this a lot. And they all rank 20th or better in our model. Why is... Okay, because we've re-ranked Corey Connors. Cool. Michael Kim. Ooh. Oh, we can go back to back. All right. So we're going back to back here. Let's go Corey Connors. Way deep. Should we just say that we took a Corey Connors in the 5th if we go with Michael Kim first? Let's go. Draft Michael Kim early. Take Corey Connors in the 5th round. Let's go. Also, people are listening about Eric Cole. Makes sense. He's undraftable, in my opinion, really, until maybe the 10th, 11th, 12th round. Then maybe. But he can fall and fall and fall. I don't care because he's not going to do anything for us. Back to business. There's our guys. Okay, so now it's really suggesting Jacob Bridgman, Sammy Valimaki, Benny On, some names over there, Nico Echeverria. We can work with that going forward. Pick number 18. We're almost done here, friends. I'm going to finish up these actives, and then we're going to get the hell out of here. Before I do that, though, I want you to know, link to the Patreon in the description below. It gets you the DAWG Dominator. It gets you into the Discord. If you want just best ball, there's a best ball Discord just for you. If you want all my stuff that includes the best ball Discord, there's that as well. I have a stage that I can stream my stuff on that I will be streaming anytime I'm doing my picks for Underdog. I'm going to be either on YouTube at 1 o'clock Eastern every weekday, apart from Fridays. And then any other time I'm stream drafting, I'm going to be in my Discord sharing my screen as we go. If you've got any questions, you can ask me in there. All my tools. I got player write-ups. All my favorite plays I'm putting in there. Player profile page. You can go in there and see who I've written about, who I'm fading, who I'm not, reasoning why, blah, blah, blah. I've got a forum in there that you can find my draft strategy. What I'm just thinking about as I'm going through different rounds, different players collections, different combinations of guys to help schedules out that are weak in the beginning but strong at the end, that kind of stuff. So it's all in there for you guys. And there's people that also are like-minded that do PGA Best Ball as well. So you can use all the resources in there, chat with friends that you can make in there. It's a great time. So just thought I'd share that with you guys. Link in the description below. Click that bad boy. The memberships tab is where you can get the monthly subscriptions. If you upgrade to annual, you get the DAWG Dominator for free. Michael Brennan makes a ton of sense. He's going to be flying up the ADP rankings. All right, new name. What is this draft? 18. And then obviously you want to make sure that you are like getting the right sequencing, yeah. So it's easy to find them once you have like 50 plus tabs going on. It's too many. I may just do like increments of 25 since that's how many slow drafts I'm doing. All right. So in this draft, we going number 18. We've got Siwoo Kim, JJ Spawn, and then I freaking auto-drafted Colin Morikawa just a little bit ago. I was not paying attention. I was supposed to go an hour earlier. I delayed it, and then I forgot that I had some drafts to freaking take care of. Now I got goddamn Colin Morikawa in a juggernaut team, like one of my favorite teams. So anyway, at least we didn't spend premium picks on Colin, but still not happy about that. Ugh, Colin Morikawa. Okay. Anyway, so now we've got major situations. Now the tool's going to be in overdrive. Is there a Harry Hall available to save the day? There is. There is a Harry Hall. And I clicked him as a favorite in case. So, I mean, this is an obvious yes. Since Harry Hall could potentially give us a lot of cover for when Colin Morikawa is not playing. Harry's still got to try and get himself into a couple majors. I don't know if he's in all of them. He is. Whatever he did to get in there, he's in. So congrats, even though his world ranking isn't that high. I did go through and make sure that all of the players that changed over the weekend. Okay, the PGA Championship is technically the only one that Harry's not going to be playing in right now. But there's a good chance he does. So we like it. We like it a lot. So what does Harry Hall do for us? A lot. He is the second-ranked adjusted guy for us. Outside of Ben Griffin, would be number one if we could get that guy in our lineups. So Harry Hall, hopefully he can take care of business for us. Look at this disgusting ranking over here. Oh my God. All right. So Harry Hall, let's go. I like that a lot. We're going to get to a couple, like we can try and look at this guy as well, which has got a bit more names. But we're getting to like 3, 4, and 5 rounds now. Tomorrow, I'll likely have a lot different situations. These will be the same drafts, but with different rounds going on. Number 5. Duplicates. Number 5. Alrighty. And we have got JJ, Decky, Sepp, Spawn, Decky. That's Denny. We want Hideki, Sepp Straka, suggested plays, Harry Hall, Sam Burns. Again, it's going to force feed our favorite guys in. If you have the exposure on there, the more you draft them, the less it's going to encourage you to draft them, as you go. So it's a nice way to protect yourself from yourself, which I need to do a lot. Jordan Spieth is an interesting question, Retail Ripper, because he did not play well at the Euro. He is in the middle of a swing change, I believe. He could also play a lot of golf, but to me, he is the one guy whose schedule is the most vague, because Jordan Spieth is going to be a sponsor's invite to pretty much. We'll pull his name up here. He's going to be a sponsor's invite into pretty much every single signature event except for the API, which, by the way, is hilarious. The fact that Sam Saunders, the committee president or whatever of the sponsors' invites at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, Sam Saunders is Arnold Palmer's like grandson, I believe. Sam Saunders, where's Jordan Spieth here? He's getting drafted. Let's just throw someone random in here just to pull up Spieth's name. So it's nice and tidy for us, yeah. We can actually just go to power rankings. Projected schedule. There we go. Holy cow, we finally got there. We finally got there. The ADD came through for us. Okay, so he's going in the 37th pick, which is early 7th round, mid 6s. I've got him ranked 50th. So, like, if you want him, grab him. If you don't, grab him if he falls. As you can see, anything in orange is like a tentative, maybe type situation for me. Yellow boxes are ones that I manually overrode based off of schedule from a previous year. I don't know if Jordan's going to play early in the year. He typically doesn't. I would imagine he shows up for the first time at the AT&T Pebble Beach, despite being outside the top 70 in World Ranking and FedEx Cup points. By the way, the FedEx Cup rank is priority rank. It's not the actual FedEx Cup rank. But I did have these signature events pre-populated before I changed those rankings. So Spiethy, he's sponsored by AT&T. He's likely going to be in that one for sure. He played in pretty much all the signature events last year, except for API, based off of sponsors' invites. So that will happen again this year. I'm almost certain of it. So he could very much play all these other events or not. If he plays well enough in the signature events, his schedule can get lighter. He won't have to play these Texas events. He might play all freaking 5 of them. Who knows? Maybe not. I can't tell you. By the way, there's a Zurich in the middle here, so he's not playing 11 straight. He's playing 5 and then 6 or whatever. So that's what's going on. Spieth is a dilemma. He's also, he didn't play great. His last 8, he was gaining a stroke. Sure, okay, fine. Solid. Plays a lot. If you're in the mood, go for it. If not, I don't know. He's one of these guys that I'm just struggling to kind of deal with right now. Back to number 5. We are looking at the Grease Trap. Are you kidding me? Mr. Shampoo. God damn. This guy. I'm telling you. He's got all of our dudes all the time. He must be a DAWG Dominator owner. Mr. Shampoo, I will find you. I will find you. All right. So now what? We're going to go back to the tool, figure out exactly what we want. Harry Hall's obviously gone. We're looking at pick 21 here. So Russell Henley, Max Griesemann, Andrew Novak, Chris Gotterup, Taylor Pendrith. You can maybe grab him at the 28th pick or the 31st, and Michael Kim. We'll grab Mike. You know what? Let's grab Michael Kim, yeah. Screw it. If people are watching this, things could change. So I'm just going to blindly take Michael Kim in the 4th round because I've got him ranked way higher than where he's going off. And we want to make sure we get him before things start going astray for us. Let's go. We get ourselves a John Deere in the 4th round. That's very nice to see. All right. I got Spieth in the 6th round. Spieth said he didn't want to use. Oh, sure. But do you, that may be true. He may not want to use sponsors' invites this year. Do you think any sponsor of a tournament that doesn't have a Jordan Spieth in it is going to want him to just decline him? They're going to throw money at him and they're going to woo him to get out there. He will be playing in these signature events. I can assure you. He likely also plays more tournaments then to try and validate, okay, I would have made it in even if I didn't play the signature events. Maybe that's what happens. So maybe we start playing some Spieth. You never know. Okay, Michael Kim in the mix for us. Let's go. That was there. So now we've got one. Does anyone know? Like, if you go here, oh God. How do you change the name of the draft? Like, am I an idiot? Where do you go here to change the name of it? Like you have to go into the app on a phone or something to change the name of this draft. So anyway, whatever we've got here, we got a 25, 26. Okay, so we're going to go, let's go 27. We're going to have to, granted, now I don't even know which one this is going to be. I'm going to have to go find this one somewhere else. Anyway, I'm bitching about small things here. Back to what we were chatting about. Pick number 2, we've got ourselves Ben, JJ, Hideki in this one. I love me some good Ben Griffin lineups. JJ, oh yes. Hideki. All right. Max Griesemann, Harry Hall, Chris Gotterup, Michael Kim. Max Griesemann, let's go. Okay. Easy peasy decision. He's available to us. We're going to take him. And then we'll try and take Michael. We're getting some fractionals in there as well now, courtesy of our man. But we can change this to... Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. So you can see the colors starting to come in. So if we go Michael Kim, and then we go Sam Stevens... Boom. Now we're starting to fill this bad boy up with some color, with some obvious glaring holes. We are looking at a round 3, 4th tournament black hole. Round 3, 4th tournament is the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson. Gonna have to figure some names out if we go with these 5 guys, 6 guys to start off with. Gonna have to find 5 more dudes that at least play in the Cognizant, the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson, and the Canadian Open. So if we go this route, we've got to commit to normies after that. We shall see. Maybe we don't even get some of the names we're looking for. But we're going with Max Griesemann there. We're back to number 9, the return pick. It's going fast. These guys are rocking and rolling. Let's do this. So Hideki, Sanjay, JJ Spahn are our first 3 drafted options. Corey Connors dropping into the 4th round again. ADP for Connors drastically dropping. Russell Henley, Max Griesemann. What is Corey Connors' situation if we want him? Yeah, adjusted rank bad for him. Let's go to... we've got Max Griesemann. Harry Hall's obviously been taken. Surely, yes. Yeah, by Mr. Shampoo. The bane of my existence right now. Ugh. By the way, when I was in college, we put sugar water in the shampoo of one of my roommates because he was pissing us off. So we made sure that he didn't wash his hair with shampoo for a full semester because it was just sugar water. So good for him. Anyway, Mr. Shampoo, I hope similar fate finds you, man. Alrighty. JJ Spahn, Sanjay M, Hideki Matsuyama, Corey Connors. I mean, that's just a lot of golf early. It's a lot of golf, and it's some good names. Russell Henley's also in the mix, but he does not play. Do we want to go some Russell? Let's pump some muscle with Russell. Yeah, okay. Impulse decision, Russell Henley. Horrible option. We're forcing our hand going there. Okay. Russell Henley in the mix. 8 picks away, number 17. Don't have that drafted yet. Let's go. Duplicate. 17. Okay. Move it over here between 13 and 18. Okay. Number 17. We have got JJ Spahn, Siwoo Kim. Like that. Lots of fun volume there for us. JJ, Siwoo. Next up, we like some SEP action, Sam Burns, same names. Tomorrow, granted, it won't even update yet because you got to finish your draft first to get that exposure in there. So either you can go and manually edit your exposure. I could probably I'll add a column for that so you can manually edit. Cool. There we go. We're learning stuff on the fly. All right. So JJ Spahn, Siwoo Kim, Corey Connor's available, Hideki Matsuyama, Sam Burns, Russell Henley, Akshay, Max Grieseman, JT Poston. Let's go with, what's it saying here? Hideki, no. Sam Burns, a lot of. Sepp Straka, it's taken. Early at the 2-5 by Amarillo Runner. Cool name that. All right, moving along. Sam Burns is available. No, he's been taken. No, he's there. All right. We're going to keep going with Sam Burns. See what happens. Samuel. Okay, so Max Grieseman next. Chris Goddard up as well. And then Michael Kim. I love Higo. I think I like Higo a lot. I mean, he just played another great tournament down in South Africa. So that's like almost 5 consecutive top 10s he's played in a row now. He's not playing signature event status or schedule, but he is absolutely in the first 2 because of his full swing. So Higo, I've got ranked 35, and he's going in the 50s. I think he could easily start off the year with 7 straight tournaments. I know. You know, like if you're trying to get yourself to signature event status, you got to play all those tournaments. Maybe he doesn't play as many. I've also decreased his rating significantly. But if you take a look, this last 4 months has been sensational. He's really been playing some good golf. 68th in the world. You know, I think he's going to look to try and get inside the top 50 so we can get into some tournaments. What is going on with Higo from a scheduling perspective? A lot. So he's not in the Arnold Palmer Invitational because that's the first signature that he's not signed up for. Not in the Masters right now, not in the PGA, not in the US Open. So to get into the Masters, he's going to have to get inside the top 50 in the world. And he's not going to get that this year. He's 68th. Unless he does something. I don't think he's even playing this week anyway. So Higo needs to play a lot of golf, and he needs to get himself world ranking points to get inside the top 50 for the Masters. So there's a good chance he plays 7 straight because he's got that opportunity. There's only 10 people not playing signature events all year that can get into this. There's actually a little more, but more of that on the next episode. We haven't got to those guys yet. So I'll be dealing with all of those guys next time you guys join me, and then we go from there. But yes, I'm a big fan of Higo. As he go, we go. Sanjay, Tommy Fleetwood. So when we got Tommy, we're going to look for guys that are playing a lot in that first round because Tommy's going to take care of business for us after the first week, the first round of tournaments, because he only plays 2. But then after that, he plays a little bit more, and he's one of the best golfers in the world. So we're going to make a duplicate again. We're losing a bit of steam here. I'm losing some focus, but we're gonna survive. I'm out on Vegas. I don't know. I'm impartial on Vegas and Gerard. I think Gerard could play a lot of golf again and was playing some good golf too. So, but I haven't really got to too many of those parts of the draft yet. I think once I start getting there, make a couple more decisions, do some more research, figure that out. We're still only in the beginning here. Number 24. Move this all the way over here. There we go. Okay, 24. Sanjay and Tommy Fleetwood out of the 4 spots. Okay. It is telling us to play JJ Spahn, to Get Sepp Straka, Sam Burns, Harry Hall, Max Griesemann. Same guys. Same guys. By the way, if you've made it this far, you get a little bonus bit. Aaron Rai, 72nd in FedEx Cup points, 23rd in world ranking points. So as long as he stays inside the top 30, he is playing signature events, is Mr. Rai. So he could be forced to play a lot of golf again. Again, I don't know what his schedule will look like. He could play 6 to start off with. He never played the Amex or the COG last year. I don't know. Speculation is an art in this format. So you can figure out what you want. You can change those how you need. We are looking at Colin Morikawa. We'll take Sepp Straka right away. Give me Sepp. Okay. Cool. Especially with Tommy Fleetwood, we like Sepp and Tommy together. Like that a lot. Make sure we're covering those tournaments that Tommy might not. By the way, Tom Hoagie played kind of well scored kind of well last year. Played a lot of golf still, but bad golf for a while. Yeah, we've got a big boy. We got draft number 4, which I've got on a different tool, but let's just make it over here. All right, number 4. And I'm just going to pull this over here so I can see better. As you can tell, this was, I believe, the first draft that I started before the tool was published. So now we've got a Rory McIlroy at pick number 2. Disgusting. I wouldn't be doing that. But it is what it is. We've got Siwoo to make up for some volume. Cameron Young to make up for some upside. Aaron Rai potentially giving us a lot of volume. Harry Hall and pick 26. See, this was the first draft. Sometimes getting in early. I also should do a couple more of these before I release the tool because, you know, I'm basically getting shafted by my own rankings. I'm also being self-obnoxious here. Self-obnoxious, new word. Hall, got her up. Rico, Fox. Okay. And then, here's your guy. Michael Brennan, baby. Not Michael Kim. Michael Brennan. Michael Brennan is 35th in the world golf ranking. So he's not in signature events, I don't believe. He's 35th in the world. If he gets off to a couple hot starts here in the first 3, you never know. This man could find himself inside the top 30 and playing in signature events. So if you want to speculate that kind of a schedule, you can do so. I'd imagine 35th in the world gets him a player's berth. So we can update that as well. So yes, there's a lot to like from Brennan. Does a lot of good work. It's projected for 17 events. Could be a lot more than that. What do we have available for us at this situation right now? Kurt Kitayama, Kevin Yu, Marco Penge. Cool. If you've made it this far, I'll give you another freebie. I'm a big fan of Marco Penge. Penge, whatever you want to call it. I've got him ranked 18th in the model. Now, in this instance, we might have to leave him alone because we've only got 3 spots left and we've only got 5 people potentially playing Sony. We've got 4 people playing the John Deere only. So we've got to find a couple John Deerers. Dear John, are you playing in the John Deere? John Deere Classic, blanks. We only want guys that are playing in that. We also want guys playing in the Charles Schwab. Boom. We also only want guys playing in the Sony and the Farmers. And by then we should have 0. There's a couple that aren't playing in the Farmers potentially. So we'll get those guys out. All righty. Now you go over here. We've got all this stuff figured out. Vince Whaley, I got to go change his OWGR name. This is the joy of running one of these tools. So adjusted ranks for us. What is this going to tell us all the way down here? This might not even, yeah, okay. Let's just go off of past rankings. A to Z. All right, so Nico Echeverria, he's likely not available. Taken. Okay, at 50. I guess we can go like this. Okay. Jacob Bridgman, probably been taken already. Michael Brennan in our lineups. Aldrich could also be one of these guys that plays a lot of golf early. Whether or not he plays good golf or not, I don't trust how his situation goes. Maybe we go Garrick. Do we go Garrick over here? Can we get Garrick? Is Garrick involved? Garrick was taken just a couple starts, like literally before us, by brunch. Okay. Harris English. Johnny Kiefer. Potentially someone we can go into there. Rasmus Niergaard Peterson. He's ranked 51st in the world now after his win in Australia. Christopher Wrighton won in South Africa. So we've got Rasmus, who's not in the signature events yet, but potentially playing way good enough golf to get himself into them. And we've got him ranked 43rd. We've got Thorbjorn Olesen also finding himself 17th in the model for adjustedness. Why? What is his specialty? It's the back of this model is the adjusted part gets a little wonky. I'm not going to lie to you. Got to figure that out as well. So let's just go for some original rankings here. Johnny Kiefer is also 49th in the world. So he could easily find himself playing in all the majors. I've currently got him slated for the Masters and the PGA and the US Open and the Open Championship based off of his 49th ranked OWGR. If he continues to play well, he will garner more signature events and things like that. Potentially could find himself in the top 30. You never know. I think this guy won multiple times on the KFT. So he gives us a non-signature event type of schedule, which fills a lot of holes for us there. It would be sad if he's been taken already. Not fantastic. Let's take him. Okay. Johnny Kiefer. We're a believer in Johnny Kiefer. That is number 4 for us. So now this box is telling us a lot. So we're basically going to be looking at a guy playing in the John Deere, and then we can take away the filters and just grab someone late who potentially didn't make any sense for people to drop all the way down there. So fun times. Fun times. All righty. Moving along. We're just getting bombarded, but we've got 7 hours until all these have to be done, and then we're good to go. So I may just take a break. It's been an hour and a half. Maybe we do one more. What is this? Number 8. I'm going to need some life in the chat if we're going to keep going. If not, we are done. All right. Number 8. JJ Spahn, Tommy Fleetwood, Sam Burns. Corey Connors available in the 4th again. Max Griesemann there. Andrew Novak. We haven't got too many Andrew Novaks yet. Maybe we should pounce on a Novak. Spice things up a little bit, yeah, with Novak. Can we get him at 28 if we go? Ooh, it would be a push. He's likely going to get taken from us. But then we can go Chris Gotterup or Taylor Pendrith if we need to. Michael Kim available as well. Rico Hoey. Like, this is a range I'm a big fan of, late year. So if you want more of these guys in your lineups, you almost need to take them ahead of ADP so that you can get them in there twice, because they're all in the same area. For me, I like a lot of these dudes. They're going to not be able to be in all your lineups. But I like Max Griesemann. He could potentially be a cheat code for us this year. Maybe not. Maybe. We'll be playing a lot of golf, so we know that. Max Griesemann clicked. Out of curiosity, who was the man that took Harry Hall? Was it Shampoo? Yeah, it was. We're back to this draft again. Granted, Shampoo's been taking Harry Hall in a lot of them. Okay, we're getting to the point where I don't even have these things numbered yet, so that will be it for me. All right, friends. Use the DAWG Dominator to draft with perfection. Link in the description below. What you just saw now is available to you in my Patreon, the Model Maniac Patreon, under the shop tab. If you want to get involved in the memberships and the Discord and everything, use the membership tab to find yourself the $30 tier there. Subscribe for that annually. You get the DAWG Dominator for free. Get in the Model Maniac Discord. Get 2 free months in there as well for the year. Get the Model Maniac Discord at your fingertips. I appreciate you guys for signing in, checking it out. Hit the link, hit the likes, hit the subscribes. Tell your aunties, tell your uncles, tell your brothers, tell your friends, whatever, ex-girlfriends. We love them all. Share this with your ex-girlfriend, and we'll change the rankings for her so she has bad rankings. You know, we'll take care of business for you. Always, always love you guys. Make sure that you tune in tomorrow, 1 Eastern, over lunchtime. We're going to be drafting these bad boys. So it'll be a new bunch of drafts and new available names that we're going to change some things about. So lots of fun to be had. We'll see you guys then. Till next time, peace.